Okay, so this is my extra credit on the 5 most important women in chemistry. I'm gonna do 5. First lady is Edith Flanagan. So Edith Flanagan started her career in chemistry in the early 1950s. Later on in her career, she was asked to lead a team that discovered a whole new generation of synthetic molecular sieve zeolites. Together, they uncovered over 24 structures of molecular sieves and 200 compositions, several of which have been commercialized in petroleum refining and petrochemical processes to reduce energy costs and industrial waste. Molecular sieve zeolites are a class of industrial materials used widely throughout the chemical, petrochemical, and petroleum refining industries. A molecular sieve zeolite is a porous crystalline compound that contains molecule-sized pores that separate molecules on the base of size. Smaller molecules are absorbed into a sieve and larger molecules, larger than the pores, are excluded. They are used in everything from converting crude oil into gasoline and producing oxygen for portable medical oxygen units, to cleaning up nuclear waste, and removing water from refrigerant lines in refrigerators and automobile air conditioners. Zeolites can even be found in laundry detergents, where they are used to replace the environmentally suspect phosphate. This is Irene Curry, number 4. Anyways, she worked with her husband, and together they specialized in the field of nuclear physics. In 1933, they made the important discovery that radioactive elements can be artificially prepared from stable elements. In their experiments, they bombarded boron with alpha particles, producing a radioactive form of nitrogen. For their contribution to nuclear research, the Joliot-Curies were awarded the 1935 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. In 1936, Irene Curie served in the French cabinet as Undersecretary of State for Scientific Research. She died in March 1956 from leukemia, which she contracted in the course of her work. Number 3 is Rosalind Franklin. Franklin's X-ray studies of molecules played a crucial role in the 1953 discovery of her structure of DNA. Her specialty was X-ray crystallography, I guess how you say that. The analysis of crystals formed by certain molecules. A detailed X-ray photograph she made in 1952 clearly suggested the double helix structure of DNA. Franklin was one of the many scientists looking for the structure of DNA at the time, and when her photo was shown to Francis Crick and James Watson, it was the final insight they needed to determine the true double helix form of DNA. Watson and Crick published their findings to much acclaim in 1953. Franklin continued to do research, mainly on viruses, until her death in 1958. The credit, or lack of it, given to Franklin for her work has been discussed in great detail since her death. Many of Franklin's supporters feel that Watson and Crick were unfairly given credit that Franklin deserved. Because Franklin died in 1958, she was ineligible to be included in the Nobel Prize for Medicine, which Watson, Crick, and Maurice Wilkins shared in 1962. Marie Curie! Marie Curie was a towering figure in the history of chemistry and physics. She's also most famous for the discovery of the elements polonium and radium. In 1895, Marie married Pierre Curie, and together they began working on radiation experiments with uranium. In 1898, the Curies discovered polonium and radium, and in 1903 they shared the Nobel Prize for Physics with Henri Becquerel. When Pierre was killed suddenly in 1906, Marie took over his post as professor at the Sorbonne, becoming the first woman to teach there. She was awarded a second Nobel in 1911, this time for chemistry, for her work on radium and its compounds. Concerned more with humanitarian, Marie Curie was also the first person to win a second Nobel Prize. She had $2, one of whom was Irene, who I already talked about. Numero 1, Hazel Gladys Bishop. So, the last person, I find her important because she made lipstick, this long-lasting lipstick. That's really important. But anyways, In 1935, she took up a position as research assistant to a Dr. A.B. Cannon, a director of dermatology in the Columbia Medical Center. From 1942 to 1950, she worked as an organic chemist for various oil companies. During her time with A.B. Cannon, Bishop gained some experience with the business side of cosmetics. Cannon was one of the founders of Almay, a hypoallergenic cosmetic brand begun in 1931. In the 1940s, she got interested in lipsticks. Bright red lipstick had been a popular cosmetic during the Second World War, but as a user, she found them less than satisfactory. She began working on a non-drying, non-irritating, long-wearing lipstick. The lipstick was formulated used bromo acids that stained the lips rather than simply coating them, which meant that it was a long-lasting and a no-smear. In 1948, through her mother, Hazel Bishop met the lawyer Alfred Berg, who was planning to bring the French lipstick Rouge Berger to the American market. She thought she had a better product, and Berg agreed to provide venture capital to bring it to market. Together, they founded Hazel Bishop Inc. in 1948. Commercially manufactured by Kermel Laboratories, the lipstick was successfully trialed in 1949 during a fashion show at Bishop's old alma mater, Barnard College, and went on sale in 1950. It proved to be very successful, and Lord & Taylor in New York, a store, sold out in one day. Newspaper space was purchased and used to advertise lipstick that will not eat off, bite off, or kiss off.
Barbra Streisand.
The end. 50 extra credit points.